morning, friends. Today I am making blueberry lemon scones, gluten-free. And I was going to make for one of my clients, so I thought I would make a video and show you how simple and how easy they are. Here I have 4 cups of gluten-free all-purpose. And in here I have 2 cups of almond flour. I'm doubling this recipe. So usually a regular recipe is 3 cups, so 2 cups of regular flour and 1 cup of almond flour. I like the almond flour. It kind of gives a little nutty flavor, and it's delicious. So that's the flour. In here I have 2 tablespoons of baking powder, gluten-free. And in here I have 1 teaspoon of xanthan gum. When you make gluten-free, you need this xanthan gum because it helps with the stickiness. And 1 teaspoon of salt. Add that to it. I make all kinds of scones, and especially for people who are gluten intolerant, they're easy and they're filling. In here I have 3/4 of a cup of sugar, and you mix all this together. And I have 1 teaspoon of lemon zest. Mix that. I make a lot of gluten-free stuff because a lot of my customers are gluten intolerant. In here I have 2 cups of cream, and I didn't have buttermilk. Sometimes you can do buttermilk, but I didn't have it, so I'm gonna make my own buttermilk. And in here I have 2 tablespoons of lemon juice. I'm gonna add that lemon juice, there's some seeds, to my cream and let it sit, and I'll make a buttermilk. So let that sit, okay? And I'm gonna go get my butter out of the fridge. You want cold butter. In here I have 1 cup of butter that I shredded in my cheese grater. It makes it easy to mix. And I'm going with my pastry cutter and kind of just break that into the flour. I usually use my hands, but it's very hot today, and I don't want to melt all that butter, so I'm using my pastry cutter because you want your scones to have these little pieces of butter, like little pebbles, and this is what's going to create those pockets in the scone, and that's what's going to make the scone kind of tender and crumbling and delicious. So mix everything real good and incorporate all this. I think it's good. It looks like cornmeal. That's what it looks like. So in here I have 4 eggs. Add that. And then add the 2 cups of cream. And now we're going to incorporate this as best as we can, breaking those yolks. I like to use my hands fast because we don't want that butter to melt too much. But you want to mix this flour with all this. I love blueberry lemon scones. They're a good in the morning with a cup of coffee. Sometimes there's those days you don't know what you want for breakfast. That's what I have. A blueberry scone. and they're freeze well, so you can have them in the freezer and then just warm them up in the microwave for a few seconds and they're done. And oh, I forgot to add here's my vanilla. I was supposed to add that with the milk. That's all right. Mix all this together. And now we're gonna add the blueberries. These are frozen blueberries, but you can add the fresh too. But I always have frozen blueberries. I think they work better when it comes for the scones because they're hard. They don't smash and they don't bleed too much. So now I'm gonna get all these blueberries incorporated in there. And get all this stuff out of my hands. And I'm gonna clean this up. Okay, you wanna shape your dough. It gives you 2 balls. You shape it into 2 circles. And now you wanna roll them at least about 3/4 of an inch. You don't want them too thin. And I put it on parchment paper because that way I don't have to put no more flour. Otherwise, if you don't have parchment paper, put some flour in the bottom so it won't stick. And then you're gonna cut it into 4. And then you're gonna cut it again. Make it into these triangles. And it gives you 8. One circle gives you 8 scones. And that's why you want to work with this with when they're still, everything is cold. The butter's still cold. And then that's one more reason why I like to use the blueberry, the frozen blueberries, because they're cold, so it keeps that butter cold too. So anyway, here's the first ones. And I have one more to make. Here's the other circle. And I try to work this fast before those blueberries start getting soft. And it creates water, and then it makes it hard. Then it starts sticking to the... And if that happens, just grab another parchment paper and do this. Do your circle. I try not to add no more flour, but if you have to, that's fine. Here you go. Again, my circle. And I'm gonna cut it in 4s again. So this recipe gives me 16 scones. And they go bake in my oven, they go at 400 for about between 15 and 18 minutes. So it depends your oven. You can also do this the night before and keep them like this in your refrigerator, and then in the morning you just bake them. But you want to keep them refrigerated so that butter stays cold. If it's something you want to do, for early in the morning for a brunch or for breakfast with family, that's one way to do it. Do it the day before, do all the dough, and then just bake it in the morning. Here you have it, another 8. Okay, so now I have some of that whipping cream, and I'm gonna brush the top. Also, you can add some sugar, that raw sugar. You can add it on top if you want for a little extra crunch. But these we're gonna have a glaze, a lemon glaze that's gonna go on top. So I'm not gonna put the sugar. And if the berries fall, if you see any of the berries, just push them back in. And I'm gonna put this in my oven, 400, for about between 15 to 18 minutes. Okay, friends, my scones are out of the oven. And I made a glaze with powdered sugar and lemon juice and the zest of 1 lemon. So just make it until it makes like a runny glaze. And then what you're gonna do is you're gonna just drizzle over all the scones. And that's what makes that. You bite into it, you have this tart from the lemon juice, but then you have the sweetness from the sugar. It is delicious. Don't skip on this. This is my favorite part of the scone, is this glaze. So just glazed all of them and let them set. And then you can put it in Ziploc bags if you want to freeze. Or just keep them in a Ziploc bag in the fridge whenever you need it. And here you have blueberry lemon scones, gluten-free, and they are delicious. They can be a dessert on its own. And let me show you. Look how delicious this looks. All those little pockets. And here you have lemon blueberry scone, gluten-free. You bite into this and you won't even know it's gluten-free. So, you know, if you have any issue with your health or gluten-free or sugar-free, there's always ways you can modify your recipes. But don't skip on doing something that is so good and so delicious. So anyway, from my kitchen, here it is. Blueberry lemon scones, gluten-free. Have a good day.